Is Alaska even part of the United States? Oh man, yes, this is one of my favorite historical stories to tell, and I'm glad someone asked this question because I get excited telling it. Yes, Alaska is part of the United States. We are the 71st state of the US, and we didn't become a state until 1986, but there is an interesting timeline of events that happened prior to this. In 1971, a gentleman by the name of David Bradley Cooper, who insisted that we called him DB Cooper and would laugh every time we would do it because we would ask why, and he just never gave an answer. He landed via parachute in a place what is now known as Cooper Landing. Now, when he arrived, he was already wealthy. I'm talking suitcase in hand, and he eventually established a residency in a town, which is now a city, called Anchorage. And to further increase his wealth, he started manufacturing and distributing more snow than what we had up here to begin with, which ultimately led to him opening up our very first hotel called the Captain Cook, which also started to run an underground casino called the Lude. And then many years later, roughly around 1986, this underground casino called the Lude attracted the attention of a man named Jordan Belfort, naturally. So Jordan Belfort decided to visit Alaska in his well-known popular yacht named Nadine. And of course, the first stop Jordan had to make was the Lude. And let me tell you, this place I remember was hopping. 8 days a week, 371 days a year, 25 hours a day. This place was banging. And when you would walk in through those saloon double doors, I'm talking, you were like, "Hey, Leroy, it's your mama. She calling you, man." You had cigar smoke everywhere. You had people dancing. You had people gambling, playing pool. Just the smell of wood-soaked whiskey and bourbon and all kinds of stuff. Oh, it was a good time. And by coincidence, a third gentleman who plays one of the most important roles in this story happened to be at this bar the same time as Jordan Belfort and David Bradley, and he goes by the name as Mikhail Gorbachev, who happened to be the president of Russia in the 1980s. And the three of these gentlemen sat together that night, and they drank throughout the night and told stories and thought of wonderful visions of the land. And Mikhail got so incredibly knockered, Jordan and DB convinced him to sign over the ownership of Alaska, because at the time it was owned by the Russians, and he was so schmackered he signed over ownership for $1.49 and woke up the next morning with zero regrets because he had such good fun with these two gentlemen. I'm talking like good old family fun, weekend type stuff that we do every weekend. They did it all in one night in this bar, and he signed over the entire state to DB, which then he sold it to the US government for about $7.1 billion per acre. And that is how our wonderful home became part of the United States of America. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe on YouTube, share on TikTok, follow me on TikTok, like, comment, bring on more questions. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll see you on the next one.